Belly rubs.
PG-13.
That's true. I didn't say rubs. I didn't. Well, now I said rubs.
We're demonetized now. Thanks.
Experience point. We've grown by 1 since the last time. 3 of us are the ones that you've already seen. I'm Andrew.
Adriana.
Aaron.
Jesse.
No! Aaron's a first guest. Welcome to the experience point, Aaron.
Oh, thank you.
He's here to bridge the gap between Jesse and Driana not liking Star Wars and me loving Star Wars.
I happen to like Star Wars.
So to tease up top, we're going to be talking about the Mandalorian. Disney Plus is out, and we have watched it and experienced it.
Disney.
It's a kind of a new format for us. It's a little bit more conversational, which was kind of the goal that we had when we first started this channel anyway. We've done a lot of produced stuff. We'll probably still do a little more of that stuff, but we just want to get everyone's raw thoughts and feelings and just spark some conversation.
We really need to just speak about things and release it.
Speak about things.
We're going to throw a word vomit at your face.
In your ears and in your eyes. So let's get into some conversation.
Yeah.
What's everyone been up to?
First of all,
We got married. If you've seen our last video,
Congratulations.
thank you.
We got
Everyone
married.
at the desk, everyone at the couch has been part of our wedding somehow. Aaron did our video, and Jesse was the best man.
yay. And I was the bride.
And you were the bride, and I was also there. The last video that we made, we were on our honeymoon. So the Terry reveal was that day, which was pretty hype. Jesse, I know you
was way more
super
excited
about it. I was admittedly not feeling it, but now that he's out and we had a chance to play him, I gotta say I'm real happy with
I
him.
think I'm more happy about Sakurai's absolute joy
Yes!
than Terry
That 45-minute
That video-
was literally like,
It's not
just
Yeah.
my heart.
Yeah,
It sold me.
with the instructions.
Yeah.
I like how it plays kind of like a regular fighting game, like the inputs,
You
like
gotta
down,
do, like, the-
down, forward, A, and it's like, but this is a Smash game.
I know. Yeah. And no fighting stick support yet, though. I really thought it was coming for this one. But we'll
coming.
see.
It's coming.
But he's super fun. I'm probably going to play him for quite a while.
Yeah. I had a lot of fun. I had a hard time getting used to the... I don't play Ryu or Ken, so it's hard to get used to the always facing the opponent thing, which caused some SDs. But just the amount of care that he put into bringing this character to life was unbelievable. And it sold me for somebody who's never been a Fatal Fury fan or a King of Fighters fan. Like I was on board the minute I saw Sakurai's passion come through. It was
Absolutely.
yeah.
Agreed.
So what else have we been playing lately? I know a game that you like that we've been playing.
Okay. We'll go down the line, I guess. So, not that game first. I've actually been playing Hitman a lot.
You have.
Because like a couple months ago on our PSN, it was a free download, and I was like, I'm vaguely interested, and I like it so far.
Throwing muffins at people. And
Well, that's not in the first game. At least I don't think so. I've
But it
already
might
done
be.
a couple levels, but I'm enjoying that so far. It's my solo game when Andrew's not around, because we like to play like all games together. I'm like, I need a game that's just for me.
yeah, I admittedly don't care about Hitman, so
I can't like play a game without him, or else he's like a story-based game where he'll get mad. So like
sad. Betrayed even.
betrayed.
Hurt.
So I've been doing that, and I've been playing a lot of Overcooked 2.
Which we have this guy to thank for.
This guy to thank
I
for
may have
that.
introduced her to it,
Yeah,
and it may have been a thing that Andrew does not like.
No.
No.
I remember, Drowna, you made me play that, and I just...
I made
Anxiety
him.
just welled up inside me, and I'm like, this
we
is...
had to.
If you ever want your
no.
friends to all hate each other, that's the game.
Seriously.
Yeah, well, defending it a little bit, because it's not a terrible game. It is like Diner Dash, like you have to cook the food and then serve the food kind of situation. But I just love like the teamwork involved. Like it's such a cooperative team game that like I can't do some of the levels by myself, because with player one you're controlling 2 chefs, which is very hard, but at least with more people, they're controlling an individual person.
And you have somebody to blame when something goes wrong.
Absolutely.
usually
But
me.
it's great to have someone like, okay, you're chopping the onions, you're putting the buns on the burger, you're serving, and like it takes actual verbal communication with who's on your sofa in order to get it done. So I have not played it online. I can see how that would get a little a lot annoying because
I
there's
feel like you have a lot of griefers, people just trying to personally screw with you.
yeah.
Like, which is what I do, which is like, if I'm getting overwhelmed and I don't feel like doing it anymore, I'll either
You press the swear button a lot.
press the swear button a lot, or just like, I'll just chuck like huge piles of shrimp and just like bury Driana.
I'm like, I
She's
can't play. Stop it. Well, it doesn't have any mic support, so you can't.
On Nintendo anyway.
Yeah, on Nintendo. So
That's
like,
what we have
if
it for is a Switch.
yeah, we have it on Switch. If you play it on Switch, like the other person online and whoever on the other side of the country doesn't like know what you're doing. So there's like a little menu that comes up that you have to like serving, cooking, like setting up.
It's like the Overwatch wheel, but it doesn't work.
Yeah,
so
so
it's
that
not effective.
I probably wouldn't play it like that, but I would definitely couch situation friends. Please play it with me.
Yeah, it's pretty much I feel like it's a staple couch co-op party game because of the fact that it's just, as you said, so cooperative, but also very cheap.
Yeah.
Normally it's like under $20.
Yeah, we got it for like $7.50. I think it was on super sale.
Yeah, so that's what I've been doing. What have you been doing, Aaron?
I was like, well, like cute, adorable games on the Nintendo Switch is a great segue. I just bought Luigi's Mansion 3.
Oh yeah, how's it?
It is adorable.
Really?
I never played Dark of the Moon. I will say that. So I was a little confused when the game first started because they introduced like a character that was introduced in the sequel to the original Luigi's Mansion,
I never played any
and I was
of them.
like, I don't know, it's this where he's from, but whatever. But really, it's just taking the original formula of Luigi's Mansion and just giving it that traditional Nintendo shine and glimmer, and just all the little like how to make a horror game for kids that is still fun for adults to play.
Yeah.
Not just like having nostalgia glasses for it.
It looks gorgeous. Like it looks super pretty.
It's really, really pretty.
Yeah.
Like they obviously put a lot of effort into making it very like charming.
Mm-hmm. That's what they all seemed like, but that's one of those games that I'm embarrassed to say, like I never touched a single one of
me
them,
neither.
unfortunately, or Mario Sunshine either. So both of the like Mario Brothers standalone games on the GameCube.
It's crazy.
I know. She's ready to divorce me.
Not really, just because like I've played that and I didn't have a
Sunshine is an
GameCube.
underrated Mario game.
Yeah.
It's pretty great.
Yeah.
Like I would specifically go over to my cousin's house to mooch.
Yeah.
But
She had it.
there's nothing like hearing Luigi just go, Mario.
Yeah, but I know about that. Like
Yeah.
I know the memes about it. But yeah, once the HD Mario Sunshine remake comes out, I'll probably play.
Hear that, Nintendo?
Yeah. Do you want money? What about you, Jesse? I assume Smash and more Smash.
No. Actually, I've been going through my old Steam backlog.
Oh wow.
So I actually picked up Monster Hunter World on sale.
Is that any
And
good? It seems real overwhelming.
It's very overwhelming,
That's what
but
I
it's
got
not as overwhelming as the previous entries.
I was gonna say, have you ever played a Monster Hunter game before?
I have not.
Okay.
So, like, I picked up a demo for the 3DS game a long time ago, and I just couldn't get into it.
Yeah.
But this one, you just have everything you need to do. Like, just go pick a weapon, hunt a monster.
Nice.
Just go.
Yeah, I played the demo on PS4 and I was like, this seems really cool. And then I saw the menu and I was like, what? Like I went into shock and I was
the
like,
ease
never
of
again.
access, it's a very much an Asian Eastern market game.
Yeah.
Not made for Americans, aka dumbed down.
I can tell. Yeah.
It's weirdly, like, super adorable, too.
What?
Yeah,
Oh,
like,
the
there's
cat people?
There's the little cat
Well,
people.
like your little
Yeah, they follow you
companions?
around, right?
Yeah.
Everybody gets one?
You
Is that
have
like your
one-
pet or?
It's like your
It's like your co-hunter.
mule. He carries things for you.
He finds stuff in like the environment, picks it up for you, and then brings it back to camp with
That's
you.
cool.
It's what
But he
Monster
also-
Hunter wants to call a Moogle, but not a Moogle.
Right,
much.
yeah. It's that kind of like Yakuza level of Japanese, like 100% super serious, but also somehow 100% completely goofy
Really?
and ridiculous.
A lot like that.
Okay.
And also, you get to customize your cat. So I just made my cat.
Oh,
cat.
that's
And,
awesome.
There's Hans. He's hunting with me.
Hans, Mr. Hans.
And then I also played that Mad Max game that came out a while ago.
Somebody was just telling me about that, and I don't know how I haven't played it because of how much I love post-apocalyptic things. But like,
Absolutely.
I've heard only terrible things about it. So
Really?
is it good?
I'm thoroughly like impressed that it's a movie tie-in game so far.
Well, I don't think it is.
Well, it's kind of that.
It came out
alongside
around the same time, but I think that was just to like we know the movie's coming out, so this will get people to play
Exactly.
it. I think it's supposed to be more based off of the old ones.
Oh yeah,
The old
it's not
movies.
based. Yeah, it's not based off the new movies, but it's. I mean, it's competent. It's really pretty to look at.
Yeah,
the
I heard like
it's really fun.
I heard the environments are really cool. Like there's little sandstorms that'll cook up, and like they'll range from like little harmless like gusts of winds to like I have to get inside or I will be torn to shreds.
And the combat is like it's so. You press Y and then you press X a bunch of times.
Okay, so it's Batman.
Yeah, it's Batman.
Okay.
So far, decent.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll tell you what I haven't been playing that I want to play is freaking Death Stranding.
Norman Reedus and the Funky Fetus.
The Funky Fetus. Well, as you can see, we're in our podcasting studio right now, which is just our living room. Which is a great segue as to why I can't afford Death Stranding. And what you can do to help. Here comes the plug. We now have a Patreon, so here we are begging for change on the streets, like please
Yeah.
The Patreon link is here.
Wow. It's actually
We're also here.
yeah, or maybe
It's
over
also right over here.
here.
Over there.
I'm probably not going to edit any of this. I'm just going to put it down below. If for as little as $1 a month, you can help us move into a bigger apartment with a room that we can dedicate to podcasting and get some better equipment and a better PC so we can start streaming games live, which is what we really want to do, and keep the conversations going to playing the games that we're talking about instead of just talking about them. So I'm sorry for that shilling. Let's revert back into my normal persona.
Not his radio voice persona.
Yeah. Speaking of shilling, I guess we can talk about the proverbial elephant in the room. I'm pregnant! No. Disney Plus launched.
Woo!
Hey, Disney! Look at it.
Disney.
I'm married to a
Disney.
real life Disney princess.
Disney.
So obviously we're going to talk about The Mandalorian. We watched that. But as two graphic designers and someone who went to a tech school for commercial design and someone who went to art school but not for graphic design, I kind of wanted to talk about like the actual user experience of it. I felt it was really clean and most of all quiet. Netflix, as soon as you
I
turn
didn't
that
even
app
notice
on,
that.
Exactly, that's how good it was.
Yeah, there was no boom.
No bwah, and no, as soon as you hover over something, it starts immediately playing whatever. You're like, I don't care about the Great British Bake Off. Sorry if anyone does, but like it immediately, you'll like scroll and it'll be like, here comes the cakes. Oh, we got a great cake over here. And it's like,
That was an Australian Bake Off.
definitely the Great Australian Bake Off, which is the spin-off that's coming in the fall. But no, Disney Plus is just like, it's just quiet. It's air. You just kind of follow around, and the great segue.
And I feel like it wasn't trying to necessarily reinvent the wheel, which is, I think, a good thing in the streaming wars that are obviously starting now.
Yeah.
In the sense that, like, the interface, I looked at it and went, this is a streaming service.
Right.
Here's how I access the series that I like.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it wasn't like, when Hulu launched their redesign originally, it was a little hard to navigate, I remember, on the PS4.
I remember that too.
I did not like it at first.
I still don't like it.
Yeah. Where, like, this feels a lot more organic and natural.
Yeah, and granted, they don't have they have a ton of content, which is like an excellent point, me. But it's still very easy to navigate, and something that I noticed just kind of going through was all the like recommended stuff is like really accurate. Like if you go to like Gargoyles, it'll show you like a bunch of which. I watched the first episode of Gargoyles.
Already?
It was not. Yeah, it was when you were at work today. I was just getting back to the nostalgia, see if it still holds up. Spoiler alert, it does. But it showed like a bunch of like action-y cartoons from the same era. Like if Netflix's recommended stuff is like all over the place. It'll be like Agretzko recommended for you, Great Australian British Bake Off. But
It feels like Disney doesn't have to be tied down by the like active shilling that Netflix and Hulu have. Well, I guess Hulu's part of Disney or whatever. But the active shilling that Netflix has to do to like, obviously place this in the recommended because we're giving you more money.
Right.
Because Disney has so much money, they're just like, whatever.
It's more like this is actually recommended, and sometimes it'll be within the like same. Like if you pick Tarzan, it'll show you Tarzan 2, or like here's some weird shorts about Tarzan.
Here's that weird Tarzan movie you probably didn't watch because it was straight to TV.
You didn't ask for half of these movies, but we're putting it on anyway. Like they had all of the like Mulan 2 and all the like really bad sequels. And sometimes there would be a sequel, but not the original, which I thought was
That's
a little
interesting.
bit.
They might be being held down by another, like,
It's in the vault.
being held
That's
hostage
true. Yeah.
by another service.
I know.
And some of them aren't available until like August 2020.
Well, yeah, there was one that was November. It's available November 28th, and I was like, oh, okay. 2020.
I'm like, why is it even on here?
Put it on there.
Don't give me the option to tease me to watch it now if I have to wait a whole year.
All that matters is I can watch Kim Possible right now.
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah, get you excited for the live action movie. But yeah, there's a bunch of like very retro stuff that I was really excited for. Like I mentioned Gargoyles.
That's
Disney
so
Channel Disney Channel original movies and
Johnny
like TV
Tsunami?
show. Yeah.
Cadet Kelly.
No.
I feel so left out. I was not a Disney kid.
It's okay. I mean, I get it. I also was a Disney kid, but I just was able to watch it while I was at my grandparents' house.
Yeah.
I had friends who were only allowed to watch Disney and not allowed to watch Cartoon Network
Why?
because of Adult Swim.
They weren't adults. They couldn't swim.
I get it.
Get out the pool.
Fair enough.
There's also the 2 most underrated Disney movies of all time are on there. Do you guys know what they are?
Is a Goofy movie one?
Well, true. Okay, they have the 3 most.
There we go.
That was the first movie we watched together.
Aw.
They have the 3 most underrated.
I also
Disney.
cosplayed Roxanne. And
That's
Max.
true, and I did Max.
They are
A Goofy
bad.
movie.
Yeah.
And I was waiting for a guess.
That's
No, Disney movie.
Life is rough.
Get out of my house. You're not wrong because that is on there,
Is
but
Air Bud a Disney movie?
probably Treasure Planet
Yes.
and Atlantis. Whoa, okay. all right.
Oh, wow.
We're gonna have to cut this one short.
Sorry.
Yeah. Apparently,
No.
there's controversial opinions about the movie Atlantis.
No,
No, that was a good- that was like
that
a-
was a good.
Oh, okay.
I need to take a cold shower now. Reaction.
No, no, nothing like
I mean,
that.
the female lead.
Kidagakash,
Kidagakash.
which we have also cosplayed, and I have.
Wow, great segue.
I have the book, the Atlantis book. I made one
That's true.
cosplay, and it got signed by Cree Summer.
Yeah,
What if I
and she
should-
tweeted it out.
She did tweet it out. We were on her Twitter.
We were.
Shout out to Cree Summer. She's actual auntie goals. Like I would chill at her house any day.
You know what was also on Disney Plus that you had quite the reaction to?
Tell me.
High School Musical, the musical
It's
series.
stupid.
She saw that and was like, "What?"
Let me tell. High School Musical. Fair enough.
The music.
The musical, the series.
The flamethrower.
How do you make a musical even more of a musical? It's already like, oh man, I don't know if I'm gonna make the basketball team. Let me sing about it and like really good vibrato and da 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 da. And then you go back to talking. Are you just gonna sing the whole time?
Sing the talking parts
Just
too.
sing the talking parts too?
Do
Like
they sing the credits?
I don't know.
Directed
It's,
by.
what it is it's Disney going, we want to cash in on that generation that's like, we haven't seen The Office yet. And mockumentaries might be cool.
Oh,
we
is it a mockumentary?
It's a mockumentary
Okay.
about a high school putting on High School Musical.
Which is stupid.
You haven't sold Rihanna.
It is so stupid.
I don't expect to sell it to you. I don't even want to sell it to myself, to be honest.
Like, I did grow up with a generation of High School Musical that my age is showing. Sorry, I'm 26 compared to these 30-year-olds here. So I am the youngest.
So did you actually watch High School Musical?
I did. Like, High School.
Favorite song?
We're all in this together, and we reach
Thanks for the
together.
perforated eardrum.
I knew this dance too a little bit, so
Now,
like,
if anyone signs up for the Patreon, I can use it to pay my medical bills for that.
I'm so
hospital.
sorry.
Now you can buy him video games and pay his medical bill.
What?
Also, Driana, I'm 25. I'm the youngest one here.
Oh, I'm older than Jesse.
Wow. We
I'm
call him
older
Uncle
than
Jesse, but we used to call him Nephew Jesse.
Also, little edit wherever down below. I'm not 26 yet.
You're not! Wait, what are you talking about?
It's not my birthday.
Video games done fried your brain cells.
It did. I'm sorry. All the overcooked is.
All right.
Sorry.
So, we now that we're done about High School Musical, the musical.
Let's talk about what we're actually gonna talk
Get
about.
into the meat.
Let's get into.
Oh.
I have a Star Wars shirt on. Don't worry. Still keeping it PG.
Let's get into me.
Let's get into me.
The sound bites are great.
The Mandalorian.
The Mandalorian.
I want to say first that like I'm actually really happy that they're releasing these one at a time, because if they had put out like the entire series, and
you
it was
just
like
wouldn't go to sleep.
I wouldn't go to sleep, I wouldn't go to work.
It's such a weird. I don't know. I can't decide if I like it or hate it because like when you think of binge watching shows, I feel like the first show that ever was like I had to binge watch it all the way through because it was such a hook was Stranger Things.
Yes.
Like that was a show that I watched and I sat down and I was like, I can't stop. But at the same time, it was like I only enjoyed that for a day.
Right.
Like it wasn't like I didn't pace myself.
That's exactly why they're doing it, because people are signing up for the trial, and they don't want you to just binge the series that you want.
That's a great point,
And
actually.
then cancel your membership.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is definitely what I did for the final season of Game of
HBO
Thrones.
Go. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think all the originals are doing that because I know there's a Jeff Goldblum show which I really want to watch and looks hysterical because Jeff just anything. I'm going to talk about lint today, and yes, I have some lint right here. I don't know what that impression was, but yeah, there's like where he just talks about things, and I was like,
Sure.
why hasn't this been made before? I want to
Why
listen to Jeff
not?
Goldblum talk about things, but I don't have
Sorry.
germs. Bless you. But I don't have to have the pressure of like this whole thing is out. It should be like, oh, I'm just gonna watch the one episode, and next week can find the time to watch the other one.
While I'm at work, apparently.
We can watch Gargoyles if you want. I didn't think you'd be interested in it because there's nothing cute about it. Although there is a sexy demon lady that you might like. Demona. Anyway, it was interesting seeing how much like cartoon voice acting hasn't changed because like Clancy Brown is like one of the main bad guys.
Gargoyles?
Yeah, that was Mr. Krabs and Hank from Detroit.
Oh.
And Keith David is the main gargoyle, which I never realized so I don't know who he would be that you would know. He's been in like literally everything. But you just have his very dark, deep voice. He was the original Spawn. Okay. I forgot we didn't have the same childhood.
Sorry.
You'll hear him when Keith David reprises Spawn in Mortal Kombat.
This is when
11.
you start a new rolling thing where it's called the Andrew's More Nerdy Than Driana count. And it goes ding, ding, ding,
Yeah.
ding, ding, ding.
What did you get mad at me for the other day?
You called I wish I
Ninja Turtles?
we're having like yeah. You called you were trying to
was
remember
joking.
Leonardo. You were not
I
joking.
was
You were
joking.
trying to remember Leonardo's name and of the Ninja Turtles, and she said like Lewis Griffin
Lewis and Clark.
or something. I was like, what are you talking about?
It was a joke.
It was not.
It was a
Why is she
joke.
getting so embarrassed if it was
Because it was a joke.
Okay.
I know that they're artists. They're named after artists. I went to art school. I know this.
It was just like you called Danny DeVito.
Joker.
Yeah, you're like, oh, that's Danny DeVito's Joker, and I was like, no.
That would be amazing.
But
I think you just came up
But,
with like the best Joker series
but
ever.
Today's Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
Not like Penguin era Joker.
No,
Penguin.
like right now.
Yeah.
I also said 3 Pac once.
I'm going crazy here. Everybody's gotta smile.
But let's get back into Star Wars.
Yeah,
One
yeah.
time, I couldn't remember a C-3PO.
Oh, Lord. Yeah.
I spelled 3 Pac.
Yeah, she was like, is he 3POC? And I was like, yes, he was 3Pac. He's the one that came after Tupac.
Oh Lord.
It's embarrassing. But whenever you guess actors correctly, you get head scratches. Just like a good little puppy.
Like the actor in The Mandalorian is also the Viper
Yeah.
from
And his name is?
The Viper or the actor?
the Viper.
The actor who plays the Viper. Pedro Pascal.
That's what I said. Pedro Pascal in editing.
She got it right.
You got it right.
Good girl. Belly rubs. What? I can't show you affection on screen? On podcast?
PG-13.
That's true. I didn't say titty rubs. I
Dink.
didn't, well, now I said titty rubs.
We're demonetized now. Thanks.
Anyway, on to anything else. What do we think of Star Wars? I will probably rant the most about it, so why don't you
About Star Wars as a whole or Star Wars as a
We'll be here a long time.
Yeah.
We just talk about Star Wars as a whole.
Let me open up
Okay.
with like my history and whatnot. I liked Star Wars. I'm not like the hugest fan of Star Wars. I think I'm pretty level-headed in my review of this.
Okay.
Okay.
I thought it was a pretty decent like spaghetti western in the
Yeah.
science fantasy setting that is Star Wars. But it was a little cliche at times, most of the time actually.
Yeah.
But I think that the first episode, I think it was just world building.
Yeah.
You just wanted to figure out what is his motivation, what does he do for a job.
Yeah, I think
what
that's
are the places that he travels to.
That might have been why it was so cliche, because it was like...
They needed to establish, like, this is what a Mandalorian is, this is what a bounty hunter is, in case you haven't watched the original series or know who Boba or Jango Fett are.
Yeah, or Joanna was like, wait, so this isn't Boba Fett?
Yeah, it was like a good 30 minutes in.
I mean, and that's the thing that they had to clarify, because, like, my mother said the same thing.
Right.
Yeah.
For the casual fan who's not going to know it,
Exactly.
it's going to be like, I think I remember him. Or if you knew who Boba Fett was, it's like...
Because the helmet was so iconic.
Right, yeah, it's got the T.
So, jumping, I guess we're going to go in chronological order of Star Wars interests, I guess. So,
Sure.
like, Jesse's a casual, like, Star Wars fan, safe to assume.
I'm going to admit, I didn't even watch the newest movies.
Oh, filthy casual.
So,
That's okay. Like, there's an audience for everybody, and hopefully people can relate to everyone on the panel right now. So
I'm casual number 2. I would be even more casual than Jesse if I never met Andrew, because he is a huge Star Wars fan. When coming into a relationship, seen 0 Star Wars.
That was almost a deal breaker.
0, absolute 0. So he made me go through all of them in chronological order.
No.
Which some people disagree with.
Not chronological.
Release order, sorry.
Well, no.
Very different.
It was not released.
Was it not released?
We did
it was
chronological.
episode order, yes.
Yeah,
I can't tell what she means by chronological because I don't know.
That could go either way. Correct.
It was chronological order. So we started with 1. We did 1, 2, 3.
I do disagree with, because I feel like the first two episodes of Star Wars are just dry as hell.
But Joanna thought
I
it was
like
prettier.
those better.
Yeah, when we got to the old ones from the 70s, she was like,
And
this
we
is
just
so...
lost half of you.
I know, right?
But
I still like him. I still like him. Please sign up for the Patreon.
we're gonna get to you guys, the hardcore fans. But yeah, so I went 1, 2, 3, 4, blah blah blah, all the way through, which made the most sense for me. If you would have showed me like the old films first and then work your way up, I would have been confused piecing together the story.
Yeah.
Which is how I assume most people, their experience with it is.
Plus, Luke is Darth Vader's son.
Yeah, there's no surprise factor.
Spoiler, yeah. So
I went through it in chronological order that way, and I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan. I do think it's a little overhyped. For its time, I can see its value and why it's hyped, and like the setting, the story, the universe that it's created in itself is very intriguing, but it just doesn't hit me.
I can see exactly where you're coming from, because that's like me with the Beatles. Like, I don't like listening to the Beatles. Their music is just not for me, but I completely respect that they like revolutionized music, and for their time they're like the biggest freaking thing in the world. And people still love them, and they hold them to like such a high regard that anything could come out and they'd be like, yes, give it to me.
Correct. So like that whole explanation is me with Star Wars, so I respect it. So transfer over to Mandalorian. I agree with Aaron that there should have been more of a setup of like for the casuals to understand what's going on. So there wasn't a lot of like that build up. It was a lot of like just watching it for what it is and like experiencing it, which is nice for the like fans that are a little bit more top tier than me.
Do you think there should have been a crawl at the beginning?
A crawl?
Like the
Oh, absolutely not.
words?
No, I like that the crawl wasn't there.
Okay, me too. Okay, I'm glad that you said that. Because they're keeping the crawl for the saga films.
Definitely consensus that should only stay for the films. I do not want that on all of the like spin-offs.
But like they didn't do it. Oh yeah, for the saga films you mean?
Yeah.
Because they didn't do it for Rogue One or Solo. And I'm glad that they kept it as like this is just its own little thing. You don't have to, worry about it. But I do see like going in, like who is this? Like because they only mention like the time period briefly, and it's like, oh, the Empire's gone, and it's like, oh, okay, now I know that it's after the Empire has fallen. So I did like the remnants of the stormtroopers or whatever. Like they're basically like mercenaries, and they're all like banged up and like mangled, and they're not like they don't have any sense of like order anymore. They're just like guns for hire, which I thought was a cool little idea. And I loved his opening line, which is so cheesy and so cliche, but he just says to the guy, "I can bring you in cold, or I can bring you in warm." It's like, that's awesome.
Very spaghetti western.
Oh, totally. Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, and I like that the Disney Plus series are like going to open the world for like different genres of film, I guess, for within the Star Wars universe, because this is like underbelly, like criminal, almost like I can imagine this getting more towards like a Sopranos kind of feel, like organized crime and the underbelly and stuff that you wouldn't really focus on in the main saga films because they all have the kind of same.
It's kind of like how they wanted Rogue One to be like a war story, like Band of Brothers, but Star Wars.
Yeah, it's like a war story, kind of spy thriller almost. Like I love that.
The thing is that I keep hearing that the newer Star Wars movies are too safe. Like, I keep hearing people say, like, well, it was just like a rehash of what they did before.
7 especially.
Yeah.
Force Awakens, great movie, but it was just 4 again.
Okay.
Bigger, badder Death Star.
Well, the issue is they can't please everyone, because The Last Jedi was the opposite, where they were like, let's just try whatever the hell, and you had all the hardcore fans going, what is happening?
I know.
You're not going to make everyone happy.
No.
And if you don't try anything different, then I lose interest in that you're going to lose.
I think what they're doing with Disney Plus and these spin-off shows is that they are going to be able to make everyone happy, because there will be something for everyone.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
If they do something really interesting with this series, I might be in.
Mm-hmm.
If they keep on with the cliches, I'm going to be like, nah.
Yeah,
not for me.
I could already tell just by the tone that was set up in this one that this is going to be very different, and I'm all for it. like you can stick to the stuff that works, the formulaic stuff, stick that in all the saga movies, and that's fine. That's what Star Wars has been for 40 years. So, but I'm real happy that they're like kind of starting to experiment a little bit.
No, I think I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess moving on to me then. So I grew up on Star Wars. Like, these are the kind of movies that I literally watched like every day. Now, I did deep dive a little into the lore growing up. Like, I played like Knights of the Old Republic and that kind of stuff. But I wouldn't say that I was like. I'm definitely still not on like the full on like obsessed. I love these movies. I've seen every single one opening night that's been out now. The thing I feel about The Mandalorian, and just in general where it's going here, is that they are trying to make it spaghetti western feeling, because Star Wars is such an iconic series, and like as you're saying, like they made 7 to be 4, and if they don't have those campy like this is a spaghetti western line, this is a spaghetti western shot, it's going to be too hard for them to separate it genre-wise.
Oh, absolutely.
They're leaning into the campiness because they're like, or like not even just campiness, but like into that genre harder than they probably need to, because they don't want the viewer to get confused.
Yeah, and we've only seen the first episode, so they might dial it back a little bit. It might just be to set the tone for the rest of the show.
Yeah, exactly.
And it might, unravel a little bit as the show goes on.
You're just hoping that it just evolves. You know?
Yeah.
I don't want it to just remain that.
I'm sure it will. Like, even just the character of the Mandalorian, like he the way that he starts this episode and ends this episode, I feel like are completely different.
He had way more talking lines than I expected.
I know, but they didn't want him to be another Boba Fett.
Yeah.
And I like how they start off just like, okay, so is he just another like silent, like cool brooding guy? But then by the end, like he's like yelling at the guy who's teaching him how to ride the...
Can we talk about the IG droid?
Yes!
Yeah. Well, let's go for full spoiler warning, because... just in case we slip.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so
some people may not have seen it yet.
That's true.
Yeah.
That was like our kind of thoughts on it overall, and then if you don't want any spoilers, then skip ahead a little bit. We're gonna get into spoiler territory now. IG.
Spoiler
I don't know if it's 88. Probably not 88,
Spoiler
but an IG unit was in it, voiced by Taika Waititi, and he stole the show.
Now, I have mixed feelings on him. Because I
Really?
really like him. I do. And I think he's cool. He's, like, really neat and animated.
Yeah.
He's just, like...
When did he move?
Even though
Yeah.
he's dry and like
Computerized. Yeah. There was a lot of personality shoved into something that had no personality.
which is great.
But that's the thing, though, is I feel like he's a rehash of the droid from Rogue One, or just another comic relief robot.
Yeah, it definitely there was shades of the K2SO, which I thought, but like even in that, like he felt like Alan Tudyk in the suit in that. In this one, like he literally is just, oh no, we lost some lights. K2SO feels like Alan Tudyk in the suit. Like he moves like a person, but IG-88 was just like very like he just looked like an actual machine would do, and he didn't have to worry all that much about getting shot. So he's just walking around like like twisting around, and like his little eyes. Like there's one part where he's looking away, and the Mandalorian. It says something to him, and he just like twists the little eyes around and just like looks down at him. It's like, yes, I lost it at that. It was very.
Now
the whole. The joke of like the self-destruct over and over.
Oh, it was beautiful. Now, are we going to talk about the actual spoiler?
The very end?
Should we?
That's the question.
Was there anything else we wanted to cover before we covered the very end scene?
I really liked the economy system that they're setting up.
I was just gonna say like the and he's trying to get which I didn't even know about the armor, the Beskar.
Yeah. I think that's Or
Yeah.
close enough pronunciation.
Something like that.
Basically, it's a metal that Mandalorians originally used to create their armor, and
Yeah.
they used it as like currency and stuff.
Yeah, and I think in Knights of the Old Republic they have the whole like chrome looking armor. Yeah, so it's like I love the tiebacks to that. But yeah, he gets that one little ingot, I guess, of that metal, and the blacksmith Mandalorian like makes a little pauldron out of it. So he's just got this one like shiny piece, and it's like he's putting a puzzle together. So hopefully by the end he gets to like make up the
full
whole
chrome,
suit
yeah.
of armor. Yeah, and I liked you mentioned the currency system, but I liked the whole Mandalorian like camp that he was in. They all got the masks on, and like he walks by somebody that may or may not have been Boba Fett.
Somebody, they definitely had Boba Fett's color scheme.
Yeah, and I was like, whoa, no.
Yeah.
But I was hoping, like, we can talk about what it actually was, but I was hoping that the bounty was going to be Boba Fett, and like he'd have to, because
spoilers, it's not.
As you know, spoilers, it's not, and we'll tell you what it is. But as you might know, Boba Fett is actually not a Mandalorian, as was revealed in episode 2. Yeah. He's a clone.
Or
he's not a clone, but
movie.
It's okay.
Well, they're all on Disney Plus, so we can have a whole marathon before 9 comes out. She's like, no, anything with that.
So, yeah, the way that they're establishing it, it almost seems like I can't decide if Mandalorian culture is more of like a thing you're adopted into or you're born of, because the way that they sort of like the flashbacks made it seem, and they mentioned like the word foundling, made me think like, is it like a custom that you're now raised into, as opposed to like, oh, this is a race of people?
Yeah.
Because that's sort of what it feels like to me.
That was essentially what
like,
the Sith are, too.
Yeah, that's kind of the vibe I'm getting. Like, it's almost like, let's set up this non-Force related thing that gets passed down generation to generation that isn't necessarily race related.
Yeah.
Or like species related.
I liked the trophy of the, what is it, the Megasaurus or whatever?
Oh, the Mythosaur?
Mythosaur, yeah. That was awesome.
But the actual spoiler.
But that actual bounty...
may or may not have been Yoda?
No, it was
just a baby of Yoda's species.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he says, the guy, Werner Herzog's character, who says, all we have to go off of is that it's a, 50-year-old male or something. Mm-hmm. And he's like...
50-year-old, and this is its location.
That's all he had. And then, we were making every joke known to man. Like, when he walks up to the little pod, it's like, oh, it's going to be Goku. Oh, it's Neon Genesis. But you see the little green ears poking out of the top, and it's like, it's a little baby Yoda. Whatever Yoda's race is.
Any hardcore Star Wars fan will tell you that, like, diving into Yoda species is, like, a huge thing that they've kind of just left up in the air.
Yeah. They've never said what it is, the name of it by name.
Yeah, it's just always literally referred to as Yoda species. Like, we don't know anything about them other than that they can live very long lives, and they're probably very Force sensitive.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because he's 50 years old, so he's still basically a baby. Because Yoda was 800 when Luke meets him on Dagobah. And he dies when he's like... No, he dies when he's 800, but I think... What, are you drawing a question mark?
Yeah, that's a question mark in there.
Yeah, he was roughly 800 or 900. So 50 ain't nothing. So I hope it's not the cliche, like, I've got to raise this, I got a soft spot for a little kid, and then... I don't know, maybe he'll teach a little baby Yoda to...
Bounty hunter Yoda. Dreams.
But guess what? We will find out on Friday.
Yeah.
Because it comes out in a couple days.
It's a weird release schedule. I don't know why it's not every week.
Maybe it's just because Disney Plus was released midweek, and now...
Blessings upon
Thanks.
Blessings.
Thank you.
And then it might be reoccurring every Friday? Or is it going to be Friday and some Tuesdays?
Mostly Tuesdays, some random Fridays.
Okay.
So
probably when it's more story dependent, they'll be like, boom, you kind of can binge.
Yeah.
Pseudo binge.
Like maybe 2 or 3 at a time. I don't know.
It's cool because they can experiment with that, though. Like, it's kind of a shame that more, like Hulu and Netflix haven't experimented with more irregular release schedules, like drifting away from the norm of just, oh, here's the entire season, or like here's an episode every week with a mid-season break and then rest of the season. Like, what if you had an episode every Monday, Friday, or like what if you had, like Disney does it with their cartoons line, like what if you had a bomb of episodes, like here's 5 episodes, here's 5 episodes, here's 5 episodes.
Steven bombs.
Like, yeah, exactly.
But then they'll be quiet for like 3 months.
Yeah, it's like maybe we'll find out that you enjoy getting the content like bi-weekly as opposed to once a week or once a month.
Yeah, that goes back into like kind of old school, like when we actually used to watch cable and we would have to wait weekly.
Oh, it's Tuesday, it's Star Wars Day.
Yeah. So like, I would prefer that schedule, like weekly or bi-weekly, to kind of like get back into that feel.
Also, because so many of we're just all bogged down now. Like everyone's so bogged down.
I think it's a huge breath of fresh air to be like, all right, you get one a week. That's all I have to worry about. I don't have to worry about turning off Facebook for a week to avoid spoilers and stuff, because like I saw memes for this before.
I don't know the exact numbers, but I want to say that this, even though we won't get into the topic of it, the Game of Thrones like series finale was probably maybe more watched than all of Stranger Things.
Wow.
I want to say that's off the top of my head. I could be wrong. I could be very wrong.
Yeah.
But
I'm sure no one on the internet will want to correct you.
Yeah, no one on the internet wants to correct anyone. But just as a viewer, I would have to think that like, while Stranger Things was a phenomenon, Game of Thrones was even bigger because it was able to build up, where like Stranger Things just kind of dropped and then spread via word of mouth.
There's also Game of Thrones was 10 years long, and
yeah, exactly. It has that build up.
Yeah. I'm real excited for more. I'm in. I'm sold. I mean, I'm a Star Wars shill, so anything that Star Wars is gonna get me to watch it.
Quick other things for wrap up. Rick and Morty just came out, the season 4 premiere, and we watched it.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
did you guys?
You guys didn't.
I don't know if you guys watched Rick and Morty.
Aaron watches it, I know. But
So
I watched like the first season.
Okay.
So I live in a weird void of I have seen the first and second season in their entirety, and then only sparse episodes of season 3. But I also like read a synopsis of the first episode of season 4. Don't hurt me.
Heard it.
So I know what it's about. I can't keep up if you talk about it, but I know like about the crystal or whatever.
Yeah. We won't go too hard, I guess, because like I want Jesse to keep going if he's interested.
Yeah.
Don't want to force him into anything, but animation's beautiful.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
It's back in its prime.
You can tell they have a much bigger budget now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's still got like its shock value jokes and like the complete disregard for like death. and
I remember watching Rick and Morty when it was just like uploads on YouTube from Adult Swim's channel.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and there would be like, here's an episode every week, watch it, and then it would like reach the front page of Reddit because it was like really getting popular.
Yeah.
I remember
I got into it late.
The April Fool's joke when everyone
well, that was season 3.
That was season 3, and like it was just uploaded like to Facebook Live or something like that. Everyone skipped over it
because it was April Fool's.
Because it was April Fool's, and they were like, "You are not
episode.
Getting me." Ha. It's probably just like
it's probably something fake and not real. Just kidding. It's the actual full entire episode.
It was the actual episode on repeat. So as people actually
it took
clicked
forever
it,
to people
to actually like look through the clips, they're like, "Oh, I've never seen any of this. Did I miss an episode?
Yeah.
Wait, this is actually the premiere." So. That was my favorite time of the year. So, like, season 4 is more like, okay, here's a season 4, watch it.
Yeah, I mean, besides from the fact that they didn't drop it in any kind of crazy way like they did for season 3, I still think that 3 had a much, much stronger, like, start of a season.
Yes.
This feels like kind of like mid to end of a season 3 episode. It didn't, even though they keep saying, like, oh, Morty, this is episode 4, it's the start of the season, Morty. They keep later very meta like that. It didn't really feel like a... Wow, here's a start of something
Here's a plot
huge.
line to follow.
Yeah, it's just like a standalone episode that could, be any number of them.
It's fine.
It's totally fine. I enjoyed it quite a bit, and a couple of the jokes caught me off guard and really, really split my seams, so to speak. But
yeah, I'll give it
a 1 thumb up.
Thumb up, and like this one's kind of going up a little bit.
I'll give it 1 plumbus up. We can talk about the Sonic.
Oh, yes.
Thank everyone who made this possible.
Yeah, for real. Okay, there's like a strong part of me that's like, thank the Lord they did this. And then another smaller part of me that's like, was this planned the entire time?
I don't know.
There's
no way.
There's a really cynical part of me where I just wanted them to keep the design. And I
Make
would have
it
been
worse.
Like, yes, and I would have been like, haha, this is gonna be terrible. And I'd love to
It's
watch
time
it.
to watch Jim Carrey do this.
Yeah. But I am happy that they did take in.
And just watching the trailer, they put a lot of love into it. Like the Green Hill Zone, on point.
He's got the hilltop sign, and there's I think there was a GS hat that he had on, or a GH. It's like Green Hill.
In the trailer, he was over some boxes or something. He was doing the animation where he's like, whoop.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. I'm really happy they went.
So everyone needs to go to support this movie because they listened.
Give it your money, or else we'll get more abominations like we got before.
Dear Lord, terrifying monster.
That's true.
Won't stop Sonic now.
Yeah, Sonic has gotten so self-referential and meta with the actual Facebook page will post Sonic and stuff. That, I almost was like.
Have you ever seen clips of Sonic the cartoon that they did on Cartoon Network? Or was it Disney? I don't remember where it was.
Was it for kids?
No. It was a Sonic, not Sonic X. It was a Sonic TV show.
There was two.
Oh yeah, Sonic Boom cartoon.
Yeah.
And they get heckin' meta on that cartoon.
The Sonic Boom one.
Yeah.
The one that's 3D.
Yeah. That's just the one the popular one that clips that most people seen is when Knuckles is I thought your middle name was the.
Oh yeah, he's fast is my middle name. And Knuckles I thought your middle name was the.
And there's a ton of clips. If you go on, there's montages of clips like that are that meta to the point where it's is Sonic just becoming this weird Deadpool character of this
sort of
video game universe?
Yeah.
Speaking to the Ryan Reynolds part of Deadpool, I do think that there was a little too much Detective Pikachu in the trailer.
I felt that.
It was just okay, what's funny? Can we make this guy sound like Ryan Reynolds? We can't afford Ryan Reynolds, but we gotta make him sound like it. So, I don't know. We'll see. Also, trailers are cut by studios that are separate.
Sound like Ryan Reynolds. He was Ryan Reynolds.
Sonic isn't Ryan Reynolds.
No, Pikachu, Detective Pikachu.
Oh, yeah, no, we're talking about Sonic.
I'm saying they're trying to make Sonic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, but there is also probably something to do with trailers are not cut by the same studios that make the movie.
What will really make me sad is when the opening intro part of it isn't done by Crush 40.
Oh,
that would make me very sad.
All hail Shadow.
Oh my god, I would
live
love
and learn.
I just give them one song.
Yeah.
A chase scene or something.
Oh, it'd be amazing. Escape from this movie. I'm excited to see Jim Carrey back again because we were talking. Actually, another thing I did want to talk about with Jim Carrey was something that's coming up. Is the 25th anniversary of this year. 1994 was Jim Carrey's year because this year is the 25th anniversary of Ace Ventura, The Mask, and Dumb and Dumber.
Right.
And those were shaped my childhood, and it seems like how he plays Robotnik in this is getting back to a lot of stuff like that. So I'm excited for the Jim Carrey-sance or whatever.
It's very much just Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey being Jim Carrey, which is amazing. And I do have to say, I love all of those movies, but it's still not my favorite Jim Carrey movie.
Oh, let me guess, Eternal Sunshine.
Yeah, it's Eternal Sunshine as Father's Mine. I mean, it just shows that he is an amazing actor, which makes me really, really confused of why he's in the Sonic film. I feel does he just love Sonic? Maybe that's it could be.
Maybe.
If the price is right.
That's also true. I also think that
the price is right.
Money.
Yeah.
I won't blame him for that.
I
also, just be in a Sonic movie. Why not?
Right.
I mean, he could be.
What else is he doing?
Yeah,
what was the last movie he made that you guys remember? Dumb and Dumber 2, maybe?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, but it was
no idea.
Dumb and Dumber 2.
As well.
Yeah.
In other news, we also have League of Legends.
Yeah, the Giants music video.
And Worlds was this weekend, right?
What's that?
None of us actual.
No, I actually. One of the things I wanted to say was I actually despise League of Legends. I just love their music videos, KDA.
I cannot play League of Legends whatsoever.
No. It's just not my style at all.
League of Legends is the football of esports. No one plays it, everyone watches. That's just the way it goes. And I'm pretty sure this video was for Worlds. I'm pretty sure that was over the weekend.
Yes,
I do not watch League. I will say that right now. I do not play it, League.
Oh, okay.
I watched the music video because I thought it was cool. I mean, I don't play League. But I am excited about Riot's other prospects, the fighting game that they're going to do.
Yeah.
And their shooter looks amazing.
I didn't know they're making a shooter.
It's going to be a Twitch-based shooter, sort of combining CSGO and Overwatch into one game.
I like Overwatch.
Yeah, so it's going to be a much more skill-based Overwatch, I guess, and hopefully a better viewing experience, because while Overwatch League is big, I'm not a huge fan of watching it.
Well, maybe they'll change your mind with Overwatch 2.
Overwatch
also
1.5.
true. Yeah.
Just slightly updated Overwatch 1. with new skins.
So, the new modes look kind of cool.
PvE, PvE.
Yeah, I was like, they're gonna do a story mode. Like they're gonna have
They
to.
better.
With like skill trees and stuff for the characters, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's $60 cool.
Yeah.
But it's still kind of cool.
Wow, is that going to be $60?
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
it's a
gonna be a
whole
full
new
game.
game.
Yeah.
Man, they better deliver.
Captain Cynical over here.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm also not paying $60 for another game coming up this weekend.
Oh,
Let me guess. Pokemon.
Oh, man.
Pokemon.
I'm not
Don't
mad.
fight it.
I'm not mad.
I'm just
disappointed.
That's our Uncle Jesse for you.
Yeah. I can see that. I agree. It's been the same game its whole life.
I remember I talked about, like, we already did the Pokemon. We
Deep dive.
reviewed the Pokemon, like,
That's
the
true.
Nintendo Direct.
Yeah,
But if
Yeah.
anyone jumps on for our episode 1 of Experience Chat, rehash it for
Yeah.
us.
Just a quick rehash.
Yeah, I watched the trailer and I'm like, oh, they're doing Dynamaxing. That's pretty much Mega Evolution, and I didn't like that feature anyway, so that's not new.
But the Wild Zone.
Now
the Wild Zone looks like it's just an empty area with Pokemon wandering about, and it's like, it doesn't look like there's any mobility in the game, so it's like, why would I want this? Also, it's like, I don't know, man. It's just, it's not grabbing me anymore. I said in that video, I'm in until I'm out, and after
I think
all the
I
controversy,
think that's 100% a respectful opinion, as long as you're not toxic about it. That is the thing that I just cannot stand. Like, if someone enjoys a game, like, I'm going to get Pokemon Sword and Shield. Because I like, well, my boyfriend is buying both. I'm gonna play Shield and he's gonna play Sword. But basically, like, if someone likes something, yeah, it can suck. But like, don't try to ruin their experience just because you're mad about it.
And I also gotta say, I haven't bought a game from Pokemon in like the last 3 installments.
Really?
Yeah, I really
Didn't
don't
you
have
buy
any.
Sun and Moon?
I did buy Sun and Moon, but then there was like
Ultra Sun.
Ultra Sun,
Oh,
Ultra Moon,
Ultra,
and
yeah.
Let's Go
Let's
Eevee, and Let's Go
Goes.
Pikachu. And like, some people, like, I mean, I'm just on that train where like Pokemon shaped so much of my childhood
Same.
and so much of like who I am as a person, like just the people I met and like my relationships, and I don't know, it was like how I made friends when I was in elementary school.
Yeah.
Like, it's
we
just
played Pokemon music at our wedding. Like,
it's like, if I feel like, and I know that this is like not leaning into the cynical side, but basically it does feel like Game Freak could pretty much slit my throat and I would still give them
thank
$60 because of what they've done.
Well, I don't
I used
blame
to be
Game
the same
Freak.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly I blame Nintendo because like this is the biggest franchise of anything that's ever existed.
Yeah, Pokemon is the biggest media franchise, period.
Yeah, and
Ever.
yet Game Freak still only has like a team of like 40 people.
But you can't
Nintendo
say
has the-
that because Nintendo's delayed some of their biggest franchises just to work on them more. Like Metroid Prime 4 and Animal Crossing.
Yeah, but
Even the Breath of the Wild was delayed.
that's true.
And most likely the like sequel to Breath of the Wild will probably also get delayed.
Yeah, it's probably getting delayed because only 40 people are working on it. Like, Nintendo has the money to be like, okay, give Game Freak more people. Like, and also they're making Town, so they're spread too thin on that.
Even Town looks really disappointing.
It looks not
And
finished.
the
Like,
thing
not
that
anywhere near ready to be
I
shown.
like had said this before, but I think that they're just afraid to take risks with the biggest media franchise on the planet.
Oh, they absolutely are.
And-
Ever since like the new director, it's just,
Yeah,
it's
they
been
don't.
stagnant.
They don't
Yeah.
want to lose the. They don't. They're afraid that like if they innovate too much, that they'll lose the charm. And like, I mean, I'm sure that Nintendo was terrified that Breath of the Wild was going to be the same way. That like, crap. What if we just destroyed Zelda? What if no one wants to play this series anymore?
There's been Zeldas that have come out that people haven't liked though, and then when the next one comes out,
Wind Waker
everyone's
is a
back
perfect
on.
like controversial
Yep.
example where people did not like Wind Waker a lot at first when it first like, and now it's like people like look back fondly on Wind Waker now.
Yeah.
but it's still kind of like I don't know how I felt about that.
Yeah, but like if a Pokemon had come out and the entire game was like the Wild Zone or whatever, and like that's not what people wanted, which I don't know why you wouldn't want that. And then even if it didn't respond well with people, once the next one comes out, everyone would be like, man, you know what? The Wild Zone thing was kind of cool. I like that they took a chance, kind of like with Wind Waker. 90% of the world was water. People didn't like that you had to sail around all the time, but like I love that because 90% of the world was water. It felt like a post-apocalyptic, because spoiler alert, it is, world where like water world.
The other thing about it is just, I mean, it's Pokemon. Like, if you're not going out and catching Pokemon, what is it? Like, I don't want it to turn into a dungeon crawler. I don't want, like, I don't know.
Wait, hold on. But I do like Mystery Dungeon a lot. which is a dungeon crawler.
Yeah, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon is an amazing game, but it should stay in its spin-off.
Yes, absolutely.
Stay in its zone.
Yeah.
Stay in its zone.
I can see that making like an animated
To
series.
segue a little bit, can we just say that once AR technology gets good enough, Niantic better freaking up their game with like Pokemon
Go 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like they better I want to be able to put my
was
AR
just gonna say,
glasses
so
on,
just wearing
and I
your
want to be
phone
able to
around, like-
see my Pokemon,
And
I want
pet them.
I want
Touch them.
Pokemon to me. I don't know what weird
No, Pokemon
Ami, yeah.
Well, you
whatever
just
like
can't
weird
put
pressure
Gardevoir in.
weird pressure sensors that they use to make it feel like you're touching things. I want to like be able to pet my Chikorita.
Oh, baby.
Oh, come here, my little slug. Ah!
And now you're dead because Charizards exist. Oh no. All right.
What do you think about Pokemon Sword and Shield? Are you excited? Where
Unicorn,
do you fall on the?
Unicorn and Wooloo is enough.
That's enough for me.
Oh yeah.
I'll have a
Can
team
we say
of
that
two
they gave like the gays and the bisexuals, all of us, they gave us a Pokemon.
I'm kind of with Jesse. I'm a little bit burned out because like X and
I get
Y,
it.
X and Y was the biggest like, "Wah!" and then like,
They haven't been good since.
and then like Sun
That's
and
good.
Sun and Moon was like, I stopped playing mid game.
Yeah, same.
Yeah,
Mid game,
didn't
I stopped
finish
playing.
them.
I had to.
I had
struggle.
zero interest.
So I do have to say, we are a panel of adults. And
True.
these games are no longer necessarily meant for us. There is an aspect that is. They acknowledge that, but they are trying to capture like people in that demographic that had that joy growing up that we had, you know?
Yeah.
But they're failing on that. And
I
if
completely
can-
finished X and Y though. To completion.
Yeah, I did too.
Oh,
They
yeah,
haven't
definitely
been as
great
good since
games.
X and Y.
Yeah.
They were some of the strongest that they've ever been.
So I'll definitely split a $60 game with you and just
That's
you know,
fine.
put it on one Switch.
Also, there's a big rumor that they are going to remake Gen 4.
I would hope so.
Diamond and Pearl.
Because a lot of the
Platinum.
decks at Pokemon are Gen 4. Spoilers, in the data mine, the Gen 4 legendaries are missing, but all the other legendaries are in the data mine, so...
Also, if you want a good alternative, if you want an adult alternative to Pokemon, just go to the Digimon series.
Digimon Cyber Sleuth?
Yes.
Yes!
I picked those up too.
I hear they are really good.
They are.
I heard Cyber
But
Sleuth's
they're
like
not
basically
Pokemon.
Digimon Persona, is
Yes.
how I've heard it
Yeah.
described.
Absolutely.
It's freaking dope.
It's
really good.
I have no emotional ties to Digimon,
I don't
though.
either.
Did you-
And that's kind of why it's so refreshing to me, because I'm like, I don't know what this
See, and
thing
I have
is.
the
What's it
emotional
turn
ties. Now I'm
into?
really interested, because I actually haven't played Cyber Sleuth, but I've heard good things about it.
Yeah, me too.
And
I
like,
can only endorse it.
I
It's
love
really
Digimon.
good.
I have a freaking Digimon crest at
Did you
home.
watch Digimon?
Yeah.
Oh, stop.
I'm sorry, that came out of nowhere. Anyway,
We lost all our followers. No PDAs.
I'm so sorry. Anyway,
Anything else we want to do?
I think the
To chat?
You know what
anniversaries.
do we got
and
before we
get
wrap up?
just anniversary. Just kind of spin them off.
Yeah, I touched a little bit on the Jim Carrey anniversaries, but something I thought would be cool to cover and talk about was whatever like week, if we do a weekly show, take that week and like if there's any anniversaries of games that have come out. So
Just give it a shout out.
This week is technically I think like the 10th to the 16th or whatever, but I'm gonna cheat and go back one day because we didn't do any broadcasts before this. But November 9th, Halo 2. That's the only game release that I still remember the day that it released because everybody was like November 9th. People were getting November 9th tattoos.
Let's hear the intro with your deep bass. Can you do it?
What intro? What?
The intro, the Millionaire Mix intro. I want to hear it.
What? Just the. I can't even think of.
I thought you were about to go.
Oh no! And then to bring it back to Jim.
Ariel.
No, to bring it back to Jim Carrey. Alrighty then. Anyway,
Any other
Halo 2
anniversaries?
had its 15-year anniversary. Half-Life 2 also came out that year, which I remember.
Sore topic.
That split my friend group so hard. It was like Halo 2, Half-Life 2, Half-Life 2. What are your guys' experiences with Halo 2 or Half-Life 2?
I played Half-Life 2 when I was older, so I don't really have like the nostalgia feels for it, but I did like the game a lot, and like, but I also went into it knowing I'm getting nothing out of this. There's never going to be Half-Life 3. Is basically how I approached
As
it.
soon as you play a Valve 2, you're like, well, this has to be.
But
the
Halo, like once again, another series I grew up on. Like I played that when I like was at my dad's house, and like I don't know, something about that series, just the gameplay, the story, like everything about it, just man, right here.
Yeah, we actually started going through. Sorry, I don't want to cut you off, but we started going through the Halo games for the first time. As you can see, most of our relationship is me introducing Driana to science fiction things, which I like to call our science friction. Which the only one that actually stuck was Aliens. See how quickly she turned from "never speak to me this again" to like "let's talk more about it right now."
I love Aliens, but not on this episode.
Yeah, we'll have a whole thing of that.
It's on my backlog.
Both of them, Halo and
yeah. Well, no, Half-Life 2. Halo 2, I played with my brother all the time.
Yeah.
That was our half. We were on the Halo 2 side.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it was like that quintessential like FPS of its period.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we had an Xbox.
Yeah. I mean, Half-Life 2 also definitely like Half-Life in general has like revolutionized FPSs, I think, just as much as Halo did.
Oh,
I think
definitely.
they're both just as important.
They revolutionized in different ways. Yeah.
Yeah. Like the like very blatant like flex in the very beginning of Half-Life 2 when the guy knocks the can off the trash can and he's like, pick that up, and you're like, I can pick stuff up. I always remember being able to like pick up like a phone from a phone booth, and if you walk away from it too hard, you just rip the thing clean off. Now I'm sad that we're not ever going to get Half-Life 3. There's a cool fan project out called Project Borealis that a friend of ours has been working on that's sort of a pseudo Half-Life 3, so check that out. Shameless plug for something that doesn't benefit me at all. So your experience for Halo 2 will be as soon as you want to play it, because we just beat the first one. Yeah.
Slowly.
Yeah.
It's not really quite my thing. I'm kind of what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
Sunshine, frills, wooloos,
Except for Aliens.
sheeps, and then aliens.
That's just like the...
She's got Mario Sunshine coming out the wazoo.
Yeah.
There you go. That's just me. So what you see is what you get.
It's got Mario Sunshine coming out where the sun don't shine, if you know what I mean.
Again, PG.
That was a euphemism. Yeah, Jesse came over the one day and I was like, we're in the Warthog run at the end of Halo 1. He's like, oh god, I'm sorry I interrupted this moment. But it was cool to just like play with each other and like, do you want to drive or shoot? And like get in the Warthog for the first time.
Yeah, so just real quick, I played through it, we beat it. I did not enjoy doing it by myself. It's actually harder. Well, he made me play hero mode, which is like the harder heroic mode. Yeah. So it was very hard by myself, and then it just became exponentially easier with him. So I think the rest of the games, I'll keep that.
Because I can probably play that game in my sleep.
Yeah.
Halo 2, weirdly enough, I'm probably going to get flamed for this online, but Halo 2 is like my third least favorite Halo game, actually. Like, I loved the first one so much, and I got into it so hard when it came out. I played it so much that, like, I didn't... Are you okay?
I might have just flashed the camera.
Oh!
We'll
Okay. So now who's not keeping it PG? I played the first game so much that I didn't just, like, have Halo dreams. I dreamed I was playing Halo. Like, just everything was the same. There wasn't anything that was, like, dream-related. It was just... The physics were the same. I had the heads-up display. I had the same guns.
More shameless plugs. If you sign up for the Patreon, you can support his crazy Halo dreams.
Yes, please, thank you.
There you go.
Because I'm not going to be able to afford the new Xbox Scorpio to play Halo Infinite, which I'm super excited about, and we can talk about for another time. Because they said they're going to get back to like what made the Bungie games good. Because like they all but admitted like Halo's kind of lost its way after 4 and 5, which makes me sad.
It's okay.
But yeah, speaking of the Patreon, if you enjoyed this, please consider subscribing for $1 a month if you want. Help us make more cool things. And if you don't, but you still want to support us, liking, sharing, telling your friends about us. We just started this year, so we're trying to like get a following and get some fans and good feedback. So tell us if you like this experience, chat, kind of conversational flow. Tell us what we can do better. Tell us what you liked about it. And stay tuned for more. I'll just say my name again. I am Andrew.
He is Andrew, and I am not Andrew. I'm Driana.
I'm Aaron.
I'm Jesse.
And that's the alarm.
And that's the
It's
alarm.
time
You
to
gotta go. All right.
Bye,
Thanks for
guys.
being on,
Bye.
Jesse. Thanks for being on, Jesse,
No
as
problem.
always. Driana, as always, because you live in my house. Thank me, as always. And thank you, Aaron.
Thank you
being
guys
on
for having
the
me.
first time.
See
All right.
you.
See ya.
Bye.
Hopefully next week, Mandalorian episode 2. Nope, it's gone.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. We're at the experience
hate
point.